Well, today we arrived in New Hampshire. We're gonna look how those people live here in this land, still in New England, I think. I don't think I get some, no, location. Interesting. I don't see the region, call it as New England. Maybe I'm missing something. What I'm interested here is population. 1.5 million people in the 41st state as population. So, well, we have enough information to see how to expect from those people to live. Still in the same region. It's clearly the northeast part of the country. So let's dive right into it. Let's see how they actually live. And I'm gonna start with the big city. I'm not sure it's the capital or not. I'm not interested. Have a golf course here looking pretty good. I mean, look at this from the above. Just immediately. It looks much more greener than many other places. With some exception like being here. I don't see that much trees, so I can expect to see some sort of a poor areas. And yeah, this is from 2007. Wow, I think that's like the first street views that Google offer, which is pretty wild, even back then. But now, how they used to live in 2007, just before the financial crisis, I think. Pretty good, pretty good. For 2007, not so bad on these small alleys. Cars pretty nice. Quality of the videos very bad, or the street views very bad, as you can see. But then we're gonna improve it. Look at this, much better. So let's go back a bit. If you can, yeah, look at this. So how much changed from 2007 to 2023? Not that much. But you can see the colors looks much better. So let's see how they doing here. So this is the garbage day, obviously. Well, the land back 2007. Not something spectacular. Here it's some sort of a, I mean, the garbage, how they look, not exactly that nice, but at least probably it's garbage there or something like that. I don't know. But probably they improve by now. On the small alleys, yeah, you can see not that much trees, unfortunately, so that's gonna have a huge hit on how actually feels there. But fast forward to 2023, yeah, the situation didn't improve that much, I would say. It's still the same way, let's say, of living. With not that much trees. Again, the garbage here a bit exposed, let's call it like that, which I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is, I guess, those days. But definitely it could be improved, and that's probably the poor area, because you can see not that much trees. Even here in the US, you're gonna see some differences. Here we have a bit more trees. Let's see if they a much better one. And this is from 2007 again. Wow, they didn't update those streets quite often, which is strange, you know, for the United States. Now here, yeah, it is better, I have to say. I mean, the house look better, the alleys looks better, not that much trash inside, I would say. This is what, October, November, this is Halloween here, and have some sort of a package here. I mean, you can see definitely, even still, even for the first world countries, when we have much more green, much more trees, you can clearly see some differences between low income area, let's call it like that, and upper income area, when clearly you can see a much better standards of life. I mean, this house looks very nice. I mean, look at this, I really like it. Story, this one, not that appealing, obviously, but this one looks really good. And I'm not sure if they have the alley. Yeah, they have even an alley here. We can actually park the car in the back. Looking pretty good, so far there. Have the golf course here, also looks pretty good. We have a better area of living here, by judging by the pool from above, but not that many trees that I would like to see for such an open space here. But yeah, it is good. I mean, you're not gonna complain living in a 2026 now. This is from 2022. In the world, not just United States, just in the world. You're not gonna complain if you're born here and living in a place like that much. Let's face it, compared with what we saw the rest of the world. That's pretty good, if you ask me. That's pretty good. I mean, this is a nice boat here. Cars, pretty good. I like those old style cars. It's a Toyota Corolla. Very nice car, very reliable. No major issues. Looks pretty good. I like these parts. Those are probably the starting house, I would say. Those are clearly the cheaper version of the American house. and then we kind of work our way up, I guess, to the better ones. But you can see clearly a difference between some of those income level, I would say. But it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. It's a lot of shit it's a lot of shit in this in these videos. On the other side, when it seems to be more green, I think, yeah, a bit more, but not that much. So yeah, you can see a very small house here. Wow, that's a really small house for the American market, I would say. But probably they're doing pretty well even there. Yeah, it's a very, very small house for the American market. For the European one, it's probably the medium size house. Even here, like if you have a house in Europe, people starts to build them a bit larger. Like those new constructions that they have. The old ones still remain very, very small and poor, pretty much. Oh yeah, not a huge differences in the way how they look, I would say. But let's move forward. Let's see what else they can offer. Here, probably the same way. Not that many rich ones, as you can see. This is what, 2011. Wow, that's quite a while back. The quality clearly improved from the last 4 years from this. I guess in 2007. They got much better. This is a nice place, a nice alley, a nice street, but back in the days, like I say, back in 2011 when that street view was made, yeah, you can see clearly it wasn't like a super rich area. Here, judging from above, I don't see that huge housing there, so I guess it's not that rich. But here, here definitely, look at it, the rich area. You can find it even here. They have a golf course here. They have even here, I think, is you look at the size of the land and the size of the house. This is clearly rich. We're gonna look at that immediately. But look at this, how many trees, how much vegetation they have here. This is how a rich area looks like when you can barely see it from the satellite. This is clearly a rich area. Let's check them. Look at this, how nice the trees looks like. Look at this, the road is pretty much in a shade all the time. Nice lawns, nice house. It's not a huge amount. You can see the better one. I'm just gonna see it in a bit early on. Look at this. That's a nice house here. Look at the trees, shadow. They have the alley. You're not gonna complain if you were living and born in here. I have to say, you're not gonna complain. Yeah, the job market here probably is gonna be a bit thin, but coming back home to something like that, I mean, come on, it's probably the best we can actually ask. That's a nice house. Nice front lawns. Again, garbage in a house, not a big fan, but I guess Americans have a different way of doing things here. And you can see from the satellite, most of those, they have pools. So even though you don't see them from the streets, you can see clearly they have some sort of better, I would say, privacy than the rest of the residents in this region. Roads pretty good. Housing, the same old story, like I said, just made some of the same light materials that I'm not a big fan because I don't think even it's cheap anymore to build in from wood, especially in the United States. So even that advantage is gone pretty much. But you just remain with a lot of maintenance they have to make over the years because, yeah, wood's not exactly very reliable. I can see, yeah, from the satellites, every single one of those houses pretty much has a pool. So they're doing very, very well. This one's a rich house. And how big it is. Yeah. Some sort of a McMansion there, I would say. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Clearly, this is the American dream, I would say. Look at how wide spaces they are. They're not jamming everyone together. This is how it's supposed to be. Keep in mind, this is a country with like, how many was like 300 something million people or almost 400 million people. A lot of people living in this country, and still they find a way to select those, I would say, houses or make those plans in a way that they're not gonna jam everyone together. And look how nice it is here. Look at this, how much open space they have to those lands, and how very, very clear it looks. I mean, if this is gonna be in Africa, you're gonna see probably like on this lot like 10 houses or something like that. Here, no, they make it way better. Way better. Look at this, it's a nice house. Privacy, guys, privacy. That's what I'm saying. Privacy is the most important thing, especially from the 21st century. It's gonna be the main objective, I would say. That's a nice house, a nice truck, Very nice front lawn. Not sure exactly how much you need to make to living in a place like that. I mean, look at this, the privacy on this guy. Wow, you don't even see the house, for God's sake. That's what he's doing. Wide open spaces. Even from the ground level, you might say this is abandoned land, but I don't think so. Yeah, this is just pretty much every square meter here. It's like private property, which is good. Look how nice it is. Yeah, for satellite images clearly are made from the fall, I would say. But yeah, the wide spaces here, I mean, it's great. Can you have a race car here? Would have one of those electric cars or electric bikes, so you don't upset the neighbors, so they can call police on you. You don't even hear anything. They can leave you alone. See, that's another advantage of those electric cars. It's gonna enable you to do much more than you do now, without anyone knowing. That's the main the thing. If they don't know it, they can call the cops, I guess. Yeah, that's a nice round sign here, looking pretty good. I mean, like living in a place like that, come on, just you're not gonna complain that much. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, and Americans have the first chance of actually having a basic income and living in the same really nice good area in the same time. I cannot know or tell any other countries that are in this position. I mean, especially if you're living in these places. Yeah, we're gonna see some other places in ways that doesn't look that great. Probably again, the main problem is clearly, I assume a property here is gonna be much cheaper than, let's say, the same one in Los Angeles, obviously. But the problem is still job market. That's what I'm saying. If they somehow they produce some sort of a basic, a really good income or everything for free, as we discussed in last videos, a lot of people is gonna rush in those places, to be honest, and you're gonna start to see cities much emptier. I'm not sure exactly when that is gonna happen. So far, they seems to get jamming with more and more people, especially in the countries like US when the population is still growing. It's not the same case as in Europe, for example. But probably we're gonna start to see a plateau of population in the United States and then going down. By then, most likely we're gonna see people leaving the cities and choosing those rural areas, the suburbs, what they call it. It's just, look at this. It's much better life here than just sitting in the traffic like for like an hour to drive like, I don't know, 3 miles or something like that. It's just absolutely insane. Here it's a way different way of living, and wow, look at this. It's not even see that much of the state and how much time they got it. They have a coast here, which is nice. Even some islands. Wow, let's just see some islands. Can we see something on them? We have some 360 here. Let's check this one. Pretty good that have the islands. They have a lighthouse here. Okay, pretty good. Nice clean water. Looking so far pretty nice. Don't have that much here. We have more 360, and they have some sort of a park there. What is that? I'm not sure exactly. It's an island again. It's pretty good, but probably go there by the boat, obviously. And they have some sort of a restaurants here, and you can eat some food. Yeah, probably that. Looking pretty nice. See, you have an island on your state. Yeah, the coast is not huge amount, but let's see how they doing. Oh yeah, I like this. I like the sand. Those nice dune ones. Look at this wide beach. That's how it's supposed to be. See, you don't see that many constructions that close to the beach, which is good. Americans, they done well in that department, I would say. They have, look at this, they have a nice strip that they don't allow you to build there, which is good. That's how it's supposed to be, like we see in other countries that just build pretty much on the fucking sea. Here you can see they keep the coast clear. That's how it's supposed to be. You have like, I don't know, like 100, maybe 200 meters that they're not allowed to build anything. And not to mention, it's pretty much wow, look at this. This is a border of the states right here. I mean, I guess this guy living in one state, the other guy living in another state. Pretty wild, huh? Pretty wild, yeah. Yeah, you cannot, it's a pretty much a tsunami hazard, I would say. Even some hurricane, whatever you have there, it's way better to have this a clear coast. Here, not so much, unfortunately. I don't know exactly what's happening here. Here, they didn't make that piece of legislation probably well, because they allowed those. I mean, this row of houses should not be built here. Clearly should not be built here. It's way too close to the beach, but yeah, I guess they still have to work on better legislation with time, so you can clear the coast from housing. And maybe, who knows, the next hurricane that they have, or tsunami, or whatever they have there, and it's gonna clear all this area, and they're not gonna allow them to build them anymore, and it's just gonna give them land, obviously, in a different place to build there. Yeah, here it's looking pretty good. I mean, they're doing well. They have even some sort of a mall here, or whatever that is. A lot of people on the beach in this day. Here, yeah, they clearly didn't get the message here. You're not supposed to build that close. But it is what it is. Wow, that's pretty jamming together everyone here. I'm not sure. This is the AC unit, probably. I don't think it's a heat pump. At least, I don't know, looking like that. Or a HVAC system, depends how they call it there. Looking pretty good. But now, yeah, they're kind of jamming everyone together. There is clearly, oh, look, I can see this guy bedroom. There is a lifestyle like that too. In the US, probably it's kind of working, even though it's extremely, I mean, like, this is clearly a fire hazard. No, I mean, look at the distance between them. But yeah, probably those properties are from rentals, so nobody cares that much about long-term privacy. Let's call it like that. But overall, yeah, it's much more jamming. You see, when you have that much space, you start jamming everyone together, even though it's probably a very old, look at this. It's some sort of a national park here, I guess. They don't allow any construction here. Pretty good. Wow, very nice. So yeah, you can see they have some sort of desirable land, and a lot of people wants to move there. They're gonna make a way for everyone to to have a property there, even though that's gonna mean like jamming everyone together. Here on the other side, much more open spaces. Wow, that's a nice E-Class. I suspect it to be an S-Class. Probably is gonna be a way better car. From the status point, obviously, not from the reliable one and the price. Yeah, that's how you wanna pretty much live. Although I would say a much more trees here are gonna make much better in the privacy department. This guy, look at this, the difference. Open space, pretty good, but and shadow, look at this, more trees. How much better this looks like. And this colonial style house, I would say, especially that piece there, looking much better on the round here. The wild grass, pretty good. That guys know something. This one, have some vegetation here, pretty nice, but still have a lot to improve. A lot of cars here, I like that. Look at this. I mean, we like cars as humans, just we pretty much, that's Subaru, by the way. We invented this device with wheels that can transport us, the body, whatever we want, at what speed as we want, and the comfort that we want, whatever we want, when we want. And that's a really nice piece of engineering. Oh, okay, it's a BMW X6. What year is it? This is 2019, just before pandemic. Well, pretty good, I guess. It's a nice house there. They're doing well, for God's sake. I mean, we're gonna see some poor areas probably at some point. I want to see how those look too. I don't think you're gonna find them here on the coast. Probably this is prime real estate. But again, probably all of those are from renting, I assuming. A lot of garbage bins. Wow, here in Europe we just have one. One for general trash and the other one for recyclable one. Here they have a lot of those. They produce that much garbage? I don't think so, eh? Oh, they have some sort of a main street there, and with a pretty imposed, I would say, properties here, looking pretty well. Roads again, pretty well. Yeah, they pay a lot of taxes probably here than the other regions, but I can assure you they don't pay as much as we pay in Europe. So I guess it's still even better than Europe, for God's sake. And in Europe, you're never gonna see something like that. I mean, we saw some videos from Europe when I make in bit detail, not deep in detail, but some sort of a details there, and we saw not even close. So I'm not sure exactly what they're charging that much money, but I guess it is what it is those days. Yeah, here they seems to look very good. I mean, yeah, those people's gonna make a lot of money living in this place. Obviously, not everyone can live here, unfortunately. Oh, that's a small house. But maybe they have even opportunities, I don't know, to making that much money there. In Europe, not so much. I mean, want to have a company, you can, but you're gonna get a lot of taxes and a lot of bureaucracy, which is unfortunately because in US it starts to be the same. from what I understanding. Wow, look at those mailboxes. And they have numbers on them. Yeah, I mean, I should open a company, maintain one. It should be very easy to do business. But those days, even in those left side states, it's harder to build, harder to have a business. And they're going to learn on the hard way where that is going to end up. More inequality, because those people who have money already, it's much easier to navigate those bureaucracy. And those who don't, they're going to be marginalized and pretty much kicked out from the state. And the sad thing is you need a lot of time to see that happening. So yeah, it's not going to fix anytime soon. So don't have high hopes for that. But the even more sad thing is going to be after that happening, people are still not going to learn from that because people have short, long memory. So yeah, it's gonna come probably like different guy gonna fix the problem, and a few decades it's gonna repeat again. Which is pretty typical for humans, I would say, but it is what it is. Wow, that's some 360 here. Probably some sort of a protected land, I would say. Oh, not even close. Just some sort of an abandoned park there, I guess. Now, where is the state? Okay, that's the limit of the state here. Wow, this is primo real estate again, probably. Let's check this street here. It has some nice feeling, even those jamming housing here, because they don't have the fence. It's clear, it's wide, it's open. In Europe, you can have like a 2-meter fence here, which is like, I don't know, 7 feet fence. Everyone have a fence. You're gonna see a street. Just when you look at the streets, you're gonna see fences, and cars park right here, so you cannot actually go around it. That's Europe. Wow, that's a really nice 5 Series, I think it is. Yeah, 525, I guess. Really nice. And this is 2024. This is clearly a BMW guy. I have a Z3 here, looking very nice and sharp. Yeah, overall, Subaru here. I like it. It's not that much I can say I don't like it. And we're just judging by what we see, not, I don't know, politics and legislation. We kind of mention that because it's worth it, I guess. The Americans, clearly, they live much better lives than Europeans, I would say. Yeah, if they... The two main things, three maybe, is the police department to fix them, not shooting everyone in the street, I guess, for anything. And putting in jail also with the justice system, putting in jail for any small things. Bureaucracy, obviously, just kind of put them together. And the job market, I guess. That's it. If they fix that, it's gonna be even harder to keep European outside the US. A lot of them just wanna rush in here. Because let's face it, something like this, first of all, they're never gonna see in their lifetime in Europe. And second, I don't think they're ever gonna see something like this in Europe, ever. Yeah, Europe has a different feeling, a different vibe of doing things, but that is a very small area in the center that you see, like those nice small with the cubic stone streets and nice original buildings. But outside that immediately, which is, you cannot afford to live in those anyway. And even more important, most of those buildings are not even residential buildings. So even if you have the money, you cannot live in one of those because it's not from residential purpose. The outside, it does look nothing like that. They have some sort of a cheap copies that they try to make something like American suburbs, but not the white spaces. They just keep going for the jamming everyone together. They kind of give them a small house, a small land, a small street, and they call it like the American style. Not even close, buddy. That's exactly the opposite of the American style. I mean, even this one, it's bigger than they have. Oh yeah, it's way bigger than the new construction in Europe from the American style vibe. Not even close. And not to mention, every single one of those houses in Europe has a huge fence. So yeah, no, it's not gonna happen from Europe. We know that by now. It's over. That's why probably you're gonna see. I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna fix again those that I mentioned earlier. But if they do and they move in that direction, they're gonna see a lot of native European population starting to moving there, which is kind of makes sense because they're clearly much more close culturally than any South American, any Africans, Somalians those days. every, I don't know, Asians, Indians, clearly not even close. So the transition, I guess, from the, I don't know, having a European neighbor is not going to be that much. And especially when Europeans goes there to escape those small properties, huge taxes and other bullshit that we happen here. So yeah, probably I would say after the Civil War, we're gonna see better times for the Americans, and then after the World War III, you're gonna see probably, yeah, when the other nation is gonna be in a crumble again. You're gonna see an influx of Europeans, specifically in the US, which we will see how they're gonna welcome. But like I said, the culture differences between them, it's like almost nothing. I mean, even in Europe right now, all over the Europe, you see American movies, you heard American music, you listen to American music, you eat American food. Even for God's sake, we have celebration like Halloween. We didn't have so far. Halloween, we have celebrate Halloween now. Probably the next day is gonna be the Thanksgiving. Who knows? We're not that far away from that, so we're gonna pretty much see a huge Americanization in the Europe. So the transition when they go to US is gonna be like nothing. But yeah, and probably they're gonna establish themselves in those, not in the cities, the big one. It's gonna be like those smaller towns with really cheap housing again. We will see. It's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, the difference in culture is gonna be like I say, pretty much nothing. Just in probably like in 1 year, it's gonna see like there is no difference between an American and a newly arrived European. It's not gonna be that much at all. It's just it is what it is. But yeah, so far it's not gonna happen that anytime soon. Like I say, probably after the Civil War and then after the World War III, yeah, things is gonna be different. Yeah, here it looks pretty good. Wow, that's a nice property. It's just small ones, but on the lake. Probably they're definitely vacation housing there. I'm not sure if somebody actually live permanent there, but could be a permanent residence. Who knows? They have some sort of a mountains here. Probably they have some sort of a ski resorts, I guess, at some point. No, I don't see many constructions there. Again, if you Google New Hampshire on the Google in the image department, you're gonna see pretty much all of them, if not most of them, in a fall, in the autumn. Yeah, that's probably the best time to be there, I guess, judging by the pictures. So looking pretty good. Yeah, roads. They say the American infrastructure is crumbling. So far, they looks pretty good, I have to say. In Europe, also, they looks pretty decent. They kind of fix a lot of them. So yeah, I don't think it's a huge issue in that department. They look better. They look better for sure. Yeah, in the US, like I said, the main thing that people is gonna go there probably is like they're gonna be the first countries that actually gonna offer an income for everyone, and that's a ski resort, 100%. And the second one is gonna be for the lifestyle. Oh, look at Switzerland here. From the lifestyle, it's way better. Just you're not gonna see that in Europe. That's the thing. You're not gonna see something like that in Europe ever. And like I mentioned, not in their lifetime. And people seems to go for they want to have a good time in their lifetime, not promises like they have in Europe. Like, oh, in 10 years it's gonna be like, no, it's 50 years and it's 100 years. Like not even close. Here you already have it. It's there. I mean, come on. Yeah, and they're gonna do a lot of interesting, like I said, when they have the basic income, I will call it, a lot of people are not just gonna sit on doing nothing. They're just gonna pretty much volunteer for everything. Like I say, you have a problem with the roof, they're gonna come and fix it for free. You have a problem with plumbing, fix it for free. There gonna be people that do that for, like I say, for the love of the game and not for money. They're gonna do even a better job than they do now when they charge money. Because that's passion. It's gonna remain only those who have a real passion for what they're doing, and it's gonna be a win-win situation for everyone in the same time. It's gonna be weird, transition to that. It's like, yeah, we work worst when we get paid because we have to do it because we need money to survive. But now we have everything to survive. You don't need to do it for anything. Now you do it better because you do it from the passion. How crazy is that, huh? Yeah, is that gonna happen? Wow, that's an abandoned housing here. What else we have here? Ooh, that's a poor area, 100%. I mean, that's a poor house. It doesn't seem better days, and I'm not sure exactly what's happening here. It's a lot of junk. Which, wow, should be disappearing, this one. It's a lot of junk. What are you doing with this one? Not much there in the first place. I will clean that just for the pleasure, to be honest. See? I will clean that for pleasure. It's gonna give you a lot of satisfaction. Oh, this is like a Switzerland for a second. You do that for the love of the game. See? Yeah, probably everything we're gonna have is gonna be better because you're gonna do it because you like it, not because you are forced into the work that you don't want it to do. So it's gonna be in a interesting. We're gonna be like, why we didn't do that before? Like, look how everything we do is great. Every services that we have is great. Everything that we produce, it's great. It doesn't break. It does exactly what it's supposed to does. You don't need to change it. You don't need to replace it. You don't need to fix them because it doesn't go break. It's gonna be interesting. It's like you're gonna look back. Probably the next generation gonna see how they live like that. It's like, why did they sell something that was broken from the factory just to sell another one again? It's like, where is that waste going? It's like, it's gonna be way better, way better. I know the American have the way of saying like, should not be a freeloader, but like I say, even the government provide everything. Then I mean everything, not just I'm calling basic, but it's not basic. It's just pretty much everything you want. Housing, cars, boats, whatever you want, they can produce it. A government, the private area, but they're not gonna charge money for that. And people are still not gonna be freeloaders. You know, like I said, they're gonna go to do those works that they used to do it for money. I mean, look at this. They're gonna build a house for the pleasure of the house. People that wants to have a house, they're gonna start to build them because probably it's gonna be very easy and very modular to do. And you wanna build your own house, for God's sake. And even the electrical system probably is gonna be designed in a factory and then just delivered. You connect the the cables and that's it. It's like you don't need any permits. You don't need any bullshit like that. It's like it was tested from the factory. They know exactly the length. They tell you exactly where it's supposed to go with the cable. They show it. They have. I mean, like you're gonna build your own house probably in a week or something like that with like 2 or 3 people, which is insane. And again, that's gonna be the future pretty soon. It could be right now, but you know, the greed of the people is just the way it is what it is. Wow, they have some clear mountain, 1,700 meters. Ooh, that's pretty high elevation. I mean, we see especially in the maps here in the east part of the America, and we think like it's flat land all the way to the middle of the country. It is not. Or the half of the is not. They have some really nice peaks here. Yeah. Again, we can talk about those things, like I said, a lot of time. The idea is the future, it looks bright on the other side of the ocean, 100%. That it's, I mean, the fact that they have a perfect geography for defense. They have a lot of land. Probably they can sustain easy like 500 million people, and we're gonna see probably at some point 500 million people in the United States before they going down. Even though it's gonna happen for them too, just the way it is, especially for the Western population. But when they go down in population, like I say, the lifestyle of every individual is gonna get insanely better, which is gonna be like, again, why we didn't do that earlier. For the rest of the world, yeah, it's not gonna be a pretty image, I would say, but probably I would say even in Europe, people is gonna defend better the United States in a weird way than Europe. Because in Europe, yeah, it's clearly you're not gonna see much better than what we have already. And we're talking about the individual again, not about, yeah, the medical system is good, but even that is gonna see in the US once they're gonna have, let's say, some sort of AI doctors or whatever, that they're gonna get really good with time, obviously, not at the first. It's gonna get everything much cheaper. And again, people are gonna do those medicine things going in you broke your arm, you don't have to go to the hospital. The doctor comes to you, whatever you are, and they fix your broken arm right there on the spot. They have the machines and everything that they needed. Takes like an hour. Even those people are gonna be some sort of, like I said, the volunteers. They're gonna do it because they like it, not because they get paid for that. Everyone is get paid the same amount. And that's the idea, you know, to have the services, not giving up on the services and products. But just this time, everybody do it for the pleasure. And when you do it for pleasure, everybody knows it's a much better product and a much better services than if you do it for money. And they have some sort of a I don't know, pavement here, whatever they're happening. Those small fences, like I say, from the stone, looks way better. Clearly, this one is not a rich area, I will call it, but this one close to the golf course, I expected to be a bit more rich. Let's check them. I can see more green, and yeah, it looks better. And some poles there. I mean, I imagine in the 90s, if I remember correctly, 90s, early 2090s, I have one of my relatives that her kids were in the United States for a long time, and she just put the papers to go live with them there. And in the house that they live, which was pretty interesting house. Now I'm remembering back in the day, it was like it's an old people house, but now it's like wow, actually it was pretty nice house. You have those flyers and books about the things that was in the United States, whatever that they have it back then. Usually they were from the 90s and early 2000, and they have some sort of those classic images, you know, from the United States with the housing. And it's like, wow, that looks really good. And keep in mind, Europe after the Cold War, not so great, especially in the East, not even close. And I remember those images, how nice it looked. It was like, even back then, I was like, Europe was never gonna look like that. And 25 years earlier, I was right. I was right, not even close. And it will never look like that, like this in Europe. It's just that the culture is way too different in the house department, in the way they build it. Even though people want things like that, even if you want it, you cannot have it in a weird way because of legislation, because how the neighbors building and all that stuff, and the land, how it was back in the days. The layout of the land again, it doesn't allow for something like this as much as you want. You need to go probably in the field, in open field, to start rebuilding from scratch from there. But even there, when they do it, because now they do it for money, obviously, those developers, they're not gonna allow something. Look at this. For them, it's like this is dead land for them. They're gonna put a fence here. This land is gonna be like 2 houses here, easy, and they call it a day, and they sell you with a huge amount of money. Yeah, you're not gonna have that in this pretty bad capitalism, I would say. It's not even this. It's not serve the people anymore. It's just serve some sort of an interest that doesn't make any sense even for them. It's like it's some weird things. Like you want to live in a place that even you cannot live in. Like you are the developer and you cannot have something. That's just weird. Like, and they accept the situation for it's like I said, in Europe, never. It's just the way it is. Even this fence is kind of weird, I would say, because how bad it looks compared with this one. But it's still, in Europe, you're going to see something like that twice as tall, at least twice as high. There is no way they're going to keep it that small. Yeah, here probably, again, if they have great paid jobs here in this part of the America, you're going to see much better standard of living. But again, the money. The money clearly keeps us behind a bit. Talking about everyone here. The problem, again, I understand it because it's the population. It's way too many people. When we're gonna see, like I said, we're gonna see a huge improvement. Trust me, you're gonna see that improvement when you're gonna see the populations going down, and a change in the generation that rules the country. That's gonna be also important. You're gonna see that because now the manufacturing can keep up with something like this breeze. I mean, like we can mass product windows, roof, wood, whatever materials you want to use here, doors. We can mass produce them in an insanely amount. And when the population is gonna go down, we're gonna see a lot of houses that they remain empty. They're gonna demolish them to salvage the materials and recycle them and then use it even better. Yeah, and they fix the energy cost. That's it. There is no excuses from that point to not living like the 0.1% living right now in the United States alone, not even in the entire world. So yeah, good time. Like I say, I don't have problems, I would say, with the economies in the future. When I say future, I'm not saying like 5-10 years. I'm saying like 25, 50, 100 years. Which, yeah, 100 years I'm not gonna see it, but probably I'm gonna see at least 25, 40, if not even 50. Wow, that's a really nice chairs here. Pretty good. Pretty nice. Pretty nice place to enjoy life. And I don't have a problem with the economy. Wow, that's really expensive housing. Those mention all of them, and it's a gated community, obviously, because we cannot go there. The problem that I see it, and it starts to getting confirmed even more and more by the day, which is even shocking. How we allow that to happen. It's like privacy. We have less privacy with our data, with less freedom of movement at some point. Crazy. Even in Europe, especially, it's like, wow, they started banning people here from boarding the planes, like social score in China, and it's made by European Union. And they, on one side, they say they're gonna make it, they do it for protecting the people, and the other side, we see them that they are not allowed to board planes. They are not allowed to other things, which is kind of strange. That's what I heard. I don't have a confirmation of that. I didn't go too deep into that because part of me doesn't want it to be that to be true, and hopefully in this case I'd rather not know. But yeah, when things going bad, usually you find it pretty easy, and I can confirm a few things that yeah, with freedom, with legislation, with all that, it's worse than it was 10 years ago, for example. Not to mention 20 years ago was like complete freedom comparing with what we have today. It was complete freedom. Now that's what I'm saying. At some point, if the US doesn't fall for this trap, hopefully, like I say, after the Civil War, and they're gonna go roll back a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of legislation, and in Europe they're gonna supercharge it. You're gonna see probably the first wave of migrants from Europe, and after World War III again, even after World War III, probably gonna have people like, I'm gonna go here. You're gonna prefer to fight on the American side than European side, which is, wow, nuts in a way, but very understandable. Wow, here don't have a face cover. I didn't think I see a face cover in the United States. But I didn't look for it that much. But we didn't see that many people, obviously, not like we see it in other countries or Europe. Let's check one of those main streets, but I don't think we see a lot of people. Just usually people stay in a cart here. But I think we see some blurred faces, right? Wow, not a person inside, for God's sake. There's no one walking here, what the fuck? Oh, we have some few people here, but they're with the back. Wow, not that many people. Yeah, I can see if they blur the face. Not that many people walk here, which is interesting. But they have sidewalks. They're pretty nice. I mean, like, it's not like other countries that they just, you want to walk in, you can't. Here, you have the chance, you know, to walk. It's not like they not gonna allow you to walk or something. But yeah, they cover the license plates, but I'm not sure that the people faces. But I don't see people, for God's sake. Where they are? Okay, we have someone here. Let's check this girl. Okay, so they blur it, yeah. They blur it. It's fine. I guess they have those rules even there. Okay, looks like a port area. Yeah, you can see those small RV houses, as they call it. Overall, New Hampshire looks pretty good. I mean, yeah, there are some bad areas, but usually because of the economy, obviously. Some really nice one. I mean, like really, really good ones. But overall, looks pretty good. Even here, look at this. This guy living in the middle of almost nowhere and have a nice, decent house and have the land, which is pretty good. Again, land, it's extremely important. And it's good that America has a lot of land that it didn't explore. So a lot of people can settle. I mean, look at this. Can settle in a lot of region that is pretty much nothing here. Even in the goddamn desert, can you have a really nice house? But yeah, we prefer the green areas, obviously. Wow, a lot of things going on in here. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. I don't think it's someone's house, judging by the entrance, but it's a lot of crap here. That's for sure. Yeah, overall, wow, that's a nice Acura. Probably it's more expensive than a house. uh, Overall, it's pretty good. Oh, it is like a wrench. What is this? And that's a Subaru, by the way. Not that many as we see in Maine, I think, but still looking pretty good. That's a nice Chevy there. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I said, we can spend a lot of time on those videos and you're never gonna get bored because everything you see here, it looks way better than even I expected, to be honest. It does look better. It does look something that, again, we're not gonna see it in Europe. Ever. I mean, just by, forget about the house. Okay, houses, yeah, they need some improvement. They don't need to stop building from the wood. That's the first thing. But the land that they have, the layout, the way they have the building code, the urban code here, it's like way better. You just, you're not gonna, you cannot have that in, even if you want it, you cannot have something like this in Europe. And the culture that they don't have a fence here in Europe is like, you're kind of forced to put a fence because your neighbor has, the other guys have, the other guys have. When you bought the land and the house probably came with the fence already. I mean, you're not gonna change that. Not in your lifetime. Not in 100 years. Not in 500 years. We always had fences in Europe. Even though we don't like, it's a paradox. Nobody likes them, but everybody keeps them in the same time because the neighbors have it, the other guys have it, the other guys have it, and so on and so on. And that's why I'm saying, like, they're gonna see a point, like I say, a huge amount of migrants in US from Europe this time, from England, from France, from Eastern Europe, from Germany, Poland, Italy, Greece, all of those, every single country in Europe they're gonna have, especially all of those countries in Europe, they already seen decreasing population, which is strange. Again, they want to live even more. That's a rich area, by the way. Which is not that well maintained in the street views for some reason. Yeah, looking pretty good. They're gonna, even with they have like even a decrease, even higher in population in Europe, which is usually a good thing. They're still not gonna do the right thing. Oh, that's a nice place here to live. Wow, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's gonna be a strange one, but in US probably it's gonna, again, a lot of volunteers is gonna be a lot of things that they want to do it for free, 100%. I can see that right now in Europe when a lot of people they don't even find jobs, for God's sake, and they just want to do something. You're not gonna have, I think America is gonna be the only country in the world when a shortage of anything is not gonna last that much, and in Europe it's gonna last for fucking years, and here probably it's like a week or two or something like that. Probably not even that. It's gonna reduce that time with every year. In Europe, they're gonna increase that time with every year. I mean, even today we didn't recover from pandemic, for God's sake. So yeah, that should tell you everything you need to know about Europe. That's why you're probably gonna see Americans going in Europe, and they a lot of them they go back. It's not the other way around. When European goes to US, they don't come back. Yeah, Americans wants to go here because it's probably see them interesting, and they go vacation here. But when they live here and they see how much taxes they have to pay, they have to see that they're not gonna living in the area that they visit. Things turn around and they go back home because it's not that much interesting overall, especially on the long time. But for the Europeans, yeah, it gets better and better than an American United States, and that tells you something. That shows that which one has a better system. You see it. You don't need numbers for that. You just have to ask the people who go in the United States from how long they are there, if they're planning to go back, and ask the same for the American that came in Europe. It's a different story. Yeah, I think we can stop here because we see pretty much everything. It looks great. Again, a lot of land, a lot of possibilities here. Same old problem I would say that I'm saying is like, once they're gonna provide everything for everyone, again, a lot of people is gonna go in those volunteer mode that, hey, they're gonna knock your home. It's like, hey, you wanna shovel the snow? It's for free. You wanna fix your house? It's for free. You wanna fix your car? It's for free. You wanna enjoy this meal that we prepare is for free. You want, I don't know, watch the games in a VIP lunch or whatever, it's for free. And the strange thing is gonna be after a while, gonna be the first impact that everybody wants to do everything because now it's free, and a lot of people is gonna rush into everything. After a while, probably after like 5 or 10 years, gonna be like everyone is gonna be like chill and mellow. It's like, nah, I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. I don't need that. It's gonna be like then have a huge oversupply of everything, and they have to slow down in that too. So yeah, it's the way it is, I guess. Overall, I have to say the future is still in the United States so far. Not in every region, obviously. I'm not saying that everything is perfect. They have a lot of things to work here, and we didn't see the rough areas like Los Angeles. And we say some sort of Los Angeles, but not as much. And big cities and New York and stuff like that. When people is gonna start moving out constantly from there, the city is gonna love that too because they have a much clearer city, which that's gonna be fun too. But I would rather live in a place like this, making the same, assuming that making the same amount of money for the first at the beginning, before we have that free stuff. I would say, making the same amount of money. I would rather live in a place like this than New York or Los Angeles or something like that. To be honest, I mean, like make $100,000 after taxes per year in New York, and I make the same amount of money here. I would rather live here. And that's what you're gonna see pretty much. You're gonna see a lot of people moving out of the main cities, probably starting around the end of the middle of the century, by around 2050, and by the end of the century, probably gonna see a lot of people. Probably like they lost half a population or even more from the big cities to the countryside. So yeah, it's gonna be a reverse that we saw in the last century when people moved to cities. Now in the 21st century, people go back, and that is the way that's supposed to be in the first place. Like nobody, most of the people living for fuck's sake for thousands and thousands of years living in a countryside, and now we urbanize it in that rapid way, and they didn't go that well, I have to say. So yeah, New Hampshire today, we see it pretty good. Let's check some data for us very quickly. Capital, it's Concord. Okay, that's pretty nice. I don't think we see it, but probably yeah, we check some few big cities, but I'm not sure if we're good at. What else? Elevation, highest elevation almost 2,000 meters. Wow, pretty good. Lowest 0 meters. Yeah, they have an opening to the sea. 1.4 million people in this region. Median house income, which is kind of weird to count that, because better be like per capita or something like that. It's like 96, almost $100,000 per household. I guess like 2 people get paid. I'm not sure how they work there, but and the income rank 4th. Wow, it's pretty high. To be honest, I see some rich areas, but not that insane rich that they say there's in a 4th place in the country. Probably Maine was a bit better to me, to be honest. I don't know, that's maybe just me. Official language, yeah, it's English, French allowed from official businesses in Quebec. Yeah, I have some close ties with Canada. What else do you have here? Some sort of a nice colonial looking house, I would say. This is the state flag. Pretty nice. Again, on the blue background. This is, yeah, the shape of the state, mountains, lakes. I mean, they have everything in America. I'm not sure if they have something that they missed. You can see in the 1950s, they start, I would say, with a huge amount of population growing. And then in early 2000, the beginning of the century, they start slowing down and going down the percentage. Obviously, it's a smaller percentage for a bigger population, but it just shows that they slowing down from obvious reasons. And 1.4 now, probably they're gonna go up to 1.5, who knows, and then they start probably going down. We will see. Yeah, America is gonna have like probably after the Civil War stagnation in population, and they want to import a lot of people, but this time they're gonna do it differently. They're gonna do it from the main, so the most culturally similar. So like I say, it's Europe. They're gonna allow probably a lot of Europeans to go there, because by now I have to say, like, the only things that I don't know is like Thanksgiving, that we don't celebrate here, and probably that's gonna be pretty soon adapted here too. So yeah, the cultural difference is gonna be seamless, and the adaptation very rapidly. So yeah, you're not gonna even, you have to ask them exactly where exactly if they're American or not, or otherwise you're not gonna know the difference. But yeah, America is gonna have like a decreasing population probably by the end of the century, 100%, and then we're gonna see again that huge improving lifestyle that it's pretty much expected on every level. The problem again is gonna be in privacy, and the US seems to have a good laws, I say, especially on the privacy, but in the same time they don't. And have like the police can enter in your house very easily. They can, I don't know, stop you on the with your car. Or if they fix that part there, then yeah, they're gonna be even better than Europe, for God's sake, which is absolutely crazy. But we will see. We will see. It's a long way. Like I say, the most important thing when we talk about policy, it's what kind of generation is in power there, and how they improve things. Yeah, when you see like main cities with those woke people, their population, whatever you want to call it, they pretty much destroy everything. And they are part of new generation, by the way. But we will see probably like those people born, especially after 2000, getting in power after 2050, and then hopefully, who knows what's gonna happen until then, we're gonna see and actually improve in the right direction of things. Yeah, overall, I would say very European building. Also looking pretty good, pretty good. New Hampshire not so bad at all, actually. Pretty big state compared with even some small countries in Europe. It's pretty much the same size, I would guess, or even bigger. Pretty good place to live. So yeah, check out the videos that I make, and see you next time.